I am just going to do a basic car drawing tutorial for you. So, for those of you who just don't know know how to draw or just want to learn something. So, alright. So first thing I start out with is the basic line below the wheels. So, then once you get that down, you can do 2D, 3D, whatever you want. So, I just go with the 3D. I like it better. So. I always start out with the front wheel so I know where I'm going to put the back wheel. So. When you draw the rims, I start out by drawing straight lines so I know where they're going to end up. You go back in and make the design that you want. So when you draw with a pen, you want to remember to draw really lightly so that you can get better shape and it won't get as dark and rough. It took me probably about a year to learn to draw in pen, so just gotta practice at it, I guess, and you'll get really good. So you can go back around and darken up the wheel. Yeah, this is just a really rough concept design, so it's not gonna be too fancy. So yeah, when you draw, you want to try to use your full arm, not so much of your wrist, because your wrist will start to hurt after a while. So yeah. Also, when you shade, you want to not try to get really sketchy with your lines. You want to have a nice, smooth flow to it. So that would look good, like shading. So it's a little different than when you use pencil, because pencil you can get more different kind of shades. But when you shade in pen, it's pretty much just the same thing, I guess, because it's just how much pressure you put on your pen. So I'm just using a basic pen right now, so nothing too fancy. So yeah, and draw the top line above the wheels to know where you're gonna put the window line and all that other stuff. So then you just sort of start sculpting the side of your car. I usually start with the side and then move to the front end so I know how the front's gonna look. So yeah, this is just done very quick. So yeah, I got the design in my head that I'm going off of. So you can, I don't know, just come up with your own stuff once you get good at it. I just mostly try to stick with doing concepts because it's much easier to do and you don't have to get all the lines correct and everything. So I don't want to make this tutorial too long, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. And when you draw out the front end of your car, you want to start out with just like the same thing as the side. You want to do a nice straight line from the wheel, and then just sculpt out the wheel real quick, and then I just do a few straight lines to get where I'm going to go with this. So and then yeah, just start sort of sculpting out your car. So I got to think here of what I'm going to do with this. So. Yeah, I'm just making a tutorial for people who are like too lazy to go out and get books and stuff and waste their money on that. So yeah, I've been drawing cars for probably about, I don't know, I'd roughly say probably about 4 years or so. So yeah, started when I was like 10, 13, so I don't know, something like that, 6, 4 years, something like that, so 6 to 4 years around there, so yeah, all you really got to do is just practice and you'll get really good, so yeah, and when you shade, you don't want to get really scribbly with your lines because it won't have that nice clean of a look to it, so yeah, once again, when you draw out like a part for your car, I just start out with some basic straight lines and then you just go in and resculpt it, so, and add in like curves, like the curves and stuff that you want to your car, and then when you do the bottom bumper and the fog lights, try to want to keep it pretty light so it doesn't, then just, yeah. Yeah, when you also draw with your pen or whatever you're going to use, I mostly use the lower palm of my hand to sort of get a nicer flow to the lines, and I use my full upper arm. Sometimes I use my full body even when I sketch, so, yeah. This is done pretty quick, so it's not all that great, so, like I said before, so yeah. When you shade with pen, you can start out light and go to dark, or you can just go straight from dark and go to light. I go from light to dark because you can always go back and change it, so it's just easier that way, I guess, so it depends. Like when you're shading a car, it's not, most people just start drawing 2D cars right away. So yeah, once you get the hang of the proportion of like basic 2D cars, you can try doing some more 3D stuff like what I'm doing, so I don't know. Whatever you prefer, I guess, and which comes easier. So yeah, when you also shade with the windows, this is just a re-rendering, so I try to get really dark and light areas because the windows, because it's glass, will have really different shades of value in it, so. This is my mom's. Added a backdrop for just a little effect to help fill up the page a little more instead of just doing the whole entire backdrop. adds a little something to it, I guess. So. Yeah, and just practice at it and you'll get good, so. There you go, there's your tutorial on how to draw cars, so enjoy.